I was at a funeral Saturday. Girl,
She almost here, she said. All right, to those of you on social media, an exciting evening. Those of you on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Are the Masons honorable men or are they thieves? Is going to be the main focus of the show on tonight. I will deal for about first 5 to 10 minutes of the show with the vice president being in the city yesterday and some things that were said that went out over social media. And I have spoken with a bishop in the Church of God in Christ, and I'll bring all of that to you in just a little bit. And we're going to have to run it until she get in here, ain't
Are you on?
we? Huh?
Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh,
Commercials running.
no, I was talking about, could they hear if I asked
Uh-uh.
No, where's that church at? That's not, you got that purple on it.
Uh-huh. That's my color. Ronnie Webb, I see you on the site, man. Get your paperwork right and come back and see us. Y'all come on in the room.
They're here.
Huh? She said what?
They're here.
Uh, What?
I'm having some trouble with one of my pages.
With your what?
One of the pages.
You got me on the mic?
Yeah. Have Debbie will travel.
Hey,
Well, hi, haven't seen you in a minute.
it's been a while, hasn't it?
I've been running and working all day. I forgot all about this tripod that I use. What time is it?
7 something.
No, it ain't. Can't be.
Huh?
Can't be.
Yeah, it is. 7:00 something. 7:03 to be exact.
That's about what time you come home. We good. I'm sorry. Where my helpers at the house? Where now? Okay.
You gonna be able to do that commercial?
I'll try. I don't understand.
Hey, how you doing there?
It's too
Jennings Menard. Nice to meet you.
it's cut off.
Oh, Lord. I can't get this on. What's wrong? I'm trying to take it to the last notch.
I've used these bad drawers
Oh,
to
my
clean my glasses.
Make a good handkerchief, huh?
Make a good handkerchief.
Okay.
Top notch pocket.
Top notch pocket.
Y'all been using this like that?
How we looking, T?
Yeah.
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 Zoom in. You see his legs.
We don't wanna see that.
See what?
Your legs.
Oh.
Pants might come up over the sock. Huh?
Come out some.
Okay,
Okay, that's fine.
okay.
You can turn that back light down.
Turn it down.
Too bright.
Courtney just went over there and turned that up. Okay, we ready to rock out here.
Okay, that's fine.
After you bring, this commercial you got running,
Okay.
Did she do the if you wanna know?
huh?
She did.
Oh, she did the intro yet,
You don't want her to?
huh?
You don't
Yeah, I
want-
wanted to do the intro.
Oh,
We had to run them so you could get here with a tripod, so she's not standing here with it on her shoulder.
I had a 5-camera shoot, and then I came back here.
So
I
you,
ain't
so you,
even
wait,
coming here.
so you got more than one camera then, huh?
Well, we got have you been in that room over there? Got tons.
Huh?
We got tons. What you talking about? Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
Ugly.
Huh?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Well, they got 2. But yeah, it's tons. But I did a 5-camera shoot.
mhm.
So I had to take everything. Cause I didn't wanna use those one-legged tripods, cause they shake too much.
Now what you done did to me. Just gonna intro me.
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's froze right now.
Give it a second. It's gonna be out. Catch up. I've seen other people do that too, shake stuff. I know Channel 13 does it a lot too. Yes. They've been messed up all weekend, you see them? They've been digitizing like crazy. Them the big boys. 13 and 30. It's trying, yeah, it's trying to, catch up now. Oh, Daddy, I apologize, I'm so sorry. It's blinking. That's a Comcast thing. That's not us. I think that's what they was trying to fix, the other night, right? Okay.
See, when I bring him up, we're gonna do the end of the table, like we did Harrington.
Okay.
Intro rolling. And the numbers are jumping on Facebook.
Yes, they are.
Masons from all across the country watching her.
Say hello to my Arkansas people.
Huh?
Say hello to my Arkansas people, they are really tall.
Yeah, all times of day.
Yeah. Yeah, they are really tall.
I must have been playing in the middle of the day today. What's it, about 12, 1 o'clock?
About 1 o'clock?
10 seconds.
And they call. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it was an old show too, wasn't
And 5, 4, 3, 2.
And just when you thought it was safe, it is absolutely, positively not. And good Monday evening to you. Hoping that you had a marvelous weekend, and we're going to get this show on the road. A very exciting evening. Are Masons honorable men, or are they thieves? Is going to be the discussion tonight. We know that at least one is a thief. We know one. Fred McWilliams. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, how does Fred McWilliams steal nearly $2 million all by itself? We're going to talk about that. We've got a gentleman in the studio. He is here. Son said he wasn't going to come because the Masons were going to get to him before he arrived on this show, and and that they was going to do bodily harm to him, and because Masons stick together, they stand on the square or the circle or something that they stand on. But he's here. Jennings Menard, and Jennings has been a Mason for years. But when he started asking about the monies, they kicked him out of the Masons. So he's here, and if you know Jennings Menard, you know he gonna tell everything he know here tonight on the Thaddeus Matthews Show. But prior to doing that, let me take about 5-10 minutes and deal with something else. Vice President, what's the man's first name? Mike Pence was in Memphis on yesterday. He was at the Holy City Church of God in Christ in the Raleigh community, about 2 miles from my facility. And there's been a lot of uproar of why he was here and things of that nature. And why is my screen gone? Okay.
Still rolling.
Comcast is effing up as normal. Okay, but you know, it's what Comcast is doing now. It's not us at all. It is Comcast that is giving us this problem that we have going on with the digitizing and things of that nature. But time that has been won't be that much longer. But let me get into this. There was a lot of discussion yesterday, and there was a tape that went out on yesterday. I saw it on Facebook that was saying that members of Holy City Church of God in Christ were not going to be able, or they were not able to get into the church on yesterday. That disturbed me. That disturbed me that members of the church would not be able to attend their church where they pay their good tithes and their offerings to. I looked at the video of a couple leaving the church with the Bible in the hand, and they stated to whoever was doing the live that they were not able to get into the church. Well, I decided this morning to check into it and see if what was out there and what was being said was actually the truth, and how he came to Memphis. So I called Bishop Brandon Porter, that I've known since we were young guys in North Memphis. I called the bishop and I said, man, tell me exactly what is going on. How did Pence come to Memphis? And we had a long conversation about this. He said that he initially, as the bishop in this particular area, the head bishop, was contacted by the White House that the vice president wanted to come to Memphis during this season, during this period, this holiday. He wanted to bring the vice president to Mason Temple, and not to his church, but to Mason Temple. His reasoning for wanting to bring the vice president to his particular Mason Temple was that it was the last place that he made his speech. The I have a dream, or what was it, going to the mountaintop, that speech was made in Mason Temple. I want you to remember that the reason that Dr. King in 1968 had to go to Mason Temple was because other black preachers would not open their doors for Dr. King to come to their facilities. There were death threats, bomb threats, all types of things, and black preachers in their true form, a lot of them, were too cowardly to allow Dr. King in. It was Brandon's father, the late W.L. Porter, who was over all of the buildings and made sure that Dr. King would be able to make his speech here in Memphis. So it was symbolic for Brandon, and Brandon stated to me that for a lot of other reasons, he didn't want it to be about him, so he did not want him to come to his particular church. So he told the White House that. The White House reached out to other ministers in the area, and they spoke with Jerry Taylor. Jerry Taylor said, okay. Now, from my understanding, in the Church of God in Christ, what the bishop stated to me today is they do not tell pastors who they can and cannot have in their particular pulpits. So that's that on that end. Now, as far as people being turned away on yesterday, everyone knows that Secret Service was involved. Everyone should know that everybody that goes into that particular facility is going to be checked. I can remember when I was doing what was it? Well, you weren't with me then, Dale. It was about 7-8 years ago when President Obama came to Memphis and he was at the Cook Convention Center. First of all, I had to get okay to be there. Everybody had to get an okay, even as a media person. Everything is checked. And even after you've been worn down, they got them great big black German shepherds, great big dogs that sniff you and smell you before you can go in. That's to make sure that you ain't got no bombs or nothing else on you. So the members of Holy City have been told that the doors would close at 11:30. There would be no more entrances by anyone after 11:30, and the vice president was in place. The vice president did not sit on the pulpit. He sat on about the fourth row of the church. So the folk that you saw leaving was like folk do in most folk churches. They were late. Okay? They got turned away, they got turned around because they were late. They were after 11:30 getting to the church. So after 11:30, nobody was able to get into the facility. I understand that. Ain't no big issue. If you wanted to see the president or the vice president, you should have been there on time. Brandon released a statement. Let me go to it. And this is what Bishop Brandon Porter had to say. The White House representatives asked to come to my church first, but I suggested Mason Temple. However, since they could not fit Mason Temple into their schedule, I said no to the visit to my church. I did not want it about me, but MLK. The Church of God in Christ does not control who a pastor allows in his pulpit. But we as a national church organization are not supporters or endorsers of President Donald Trump or any other party. COGIC does, however, support pro-life interests and marriage God's way between a man and a woman. We're also in favor of gun control as well as strong initiatives to reduce police brutality and unfair treatment against young black men and women. We are actively opposed to racism and the mistreatment of any race of people. COGIC is bipartisan, and we don't dictate to our parishioners or local churches as to whom to support politically. But we do uphold biblical principles and share meaningful information to help them make wise decisions concerning political posturing. This again comes from Bishop Brandon B. Porter, Greater Community Temple, and General Board Member of the Church of God in Christ. So, if y'all was late going to church, y'all didn't get in. Should have had your ass up and on time. Okay? And y'all know that's what colored folks do. You wait till the last minute to go to church. Now y'all gonna be on time for no white folks job. But y'all gonna wait till the last minute and then think you're gonna get in. So as a matter of security, I understand. I've been in the presence of Minister Farrakhan. When Farrakhan travels and when he comes into Memphis, everybody, I don't care if it's 3,000 people, everybody is searched and warned. Not only are you warned, but you are physically searched. Men go through one door, women go through another door. I remember the last time he was here, and even as tight as I am with some of the members of the nation, in fact, Dr. Harrington was he married then? I think he was. We went in together and both of us were searched. We were worn down. So security is a thing. Here's the important thing though. 1 year from today, this is January the 20th, the next president of the United States will be inaugurated on this day 1 year from today. Now, the Democrats take the vote of blacks in this country for granted. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. But from what I see running in the Democratic race right now, Donald Trump, 1 year from today, will be reelected unless something strong happens in this city and in this country. As far as this city is concerned, the Shelby County Democratic Party is the weakest link. Take it from me. Jennings can tell you that too, as being a former executive member of the Shelby County Democratic Party. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no power to help their candidates. They're just an organization out there. But if you want to make a difference next year, then you need to be preparing to vote right now. So that's my little take on that, my little spiel. And as black folk in America, being 13% of the population, you ought to have your own damn group. You should not be voting for Democrats or Republicans, but those who have the best interests of black folk in America. What is the black agenda? That's what you need to be asking. But I'm not going to spend all my time on politics because I want to get into the meat of the thievery in the United Supreme Council. How they stealing all that money? How did Freddie Mac, as he calls himself, I think he rose, I think Freddie told me once that he was a 33rd degree Mason. How did he get to the top so fast? I don't think he's been a Mason 10 years. There are men who've been there 20 years that are not 33rd degree Masons. My take on it is that Fred McWilliams, oh yeah, he got some of that money, but he didn't get it by himself. And I hope and I know you're watching Freddie Mac, I hope that you're not stupid enough, gullible enough to take the fall by yourself. How did this guy maneuver all that money? Over $1 million. We're going to talk about it tonight. My guest tonight is Jennings Menard. And Jennings wants to talk. I believe Jennings is sitting on ready to talk about the United Supreme Council, because I want to know why they put him out the Masons. What was your degree, Jennings?
33.
You're 33. He's a 33rd degree Mason. How is it that when Jennings starts asking questions about the monies, why did they decide that Jennings did not need to be a part of the Masons any longer? Is there a bigger cover-up? I've got stacks of stuff from years ago, and my acquaintance with the United Supreme Council and Fred McWilliams, in 2015, in March of that year, I started renting office space in the Airways Professional Building, their headquarters here. Fred McWilliams was the building manager. Fred McWilliams had the keys to the office. When the story broke about the money, $240,000 just to the Grizzlies, then I looked at all the pictures and I saw all of these politicians that were going to the skybox, including Arvin Glass of the Mason. He was the Grand Wizard. What is it?
Grandmaster.
Oh, the Grand Wizard is the Klan. Eh? The Grand Master. Okay. Grand Master, Grand Wizard. Okay. He was a Grand Master. How? You paying a guy supposedly $30,000 a year. How is he able to afford a skybox and got all of these folk up there, including you and Arvin Glass? You don't know what's going on. How was Fred McWilliams buying caskets for Joe Ford's funeral home? Cadillacs for Joe Ford's funeral home. And nobody knows what's going on. It's more than one crook in the United Supreme Council. We're going to talk about it when I bring Jennings on the set after these commercial messages. Get him. Where my chair is at?
I'm in one.
Because that's going to be the one that fits at the table.
Right.
Come on, Jennings. I've got to readjust. Huh? Get the ball. We ain't got no ball. I forgot I was going to have guests tonight. What can we do with this camera here?
Do the same thing.
I won't be in there somewhere.
There you go, right there.
come around a little bit this way, Jennings.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
right
better.
there, that's fine.
Okay. And where got you looking?
And you can place the mic in between them.
I need to do what?
Place the mic in between them.
Say something, Jennings.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
What's all that?
So what?
Tell me.
That other folder I had on the United Supreme Council.
I thought I set it up there. This is it.
You get it done today?
Well, it's downloading. I may have to do that on another computer. I may have to take that home. Cause I looked at it and that computer ain't looking right. I'm gonna try it in here when it's finished downloading.
Okay,
But if it don't look right, then I'm gonna have to take it home.
okay. How many more did you take?
This the last one.
Huh?
This the last one.
Okay.
Was it okay? Was it?
It should have had, where you got the position there, should put elect up above it.
Well, I do have that. I just didn't wanna have so much writing all the time, but I do have it several times.
No, when it starts off, you just got general section court clerk, then Eddie Jones. In that space above it, it needs to have elect.
It comes up. It's gonna come up. It's
Yeah.
a little,
10 seconds.
Okay.
it's on there. It's gonna come up. It's gonna come up.
And 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. My guest is Jennings Menard, and I think I've known Jennings over 20-some years now.
Or,
Jennings and I have done radio together in the early years, probably back in the late 90s and the beginning of the 2000s. So I've known Jennings for a while, and all of the time that I've known him, you were a Mason, Jennings.
yeah, been a Mason ever since 1978.
So what happened?
Well, basically, I began to ask questions that most Masons was afraid to ask. And at the end result, that the nail that was put in the coffin had an individual by the name of Dagel Dunlap. I just call him Dagel. Okay. But the thing about it, he ended up in a discussion, told me to F myself.
Uh-huh.
And weighing about 400 pounds, he gonna tell me to F myself. Well, my response to him was, hey, I hope you don't fall, because I know you can't get up. Well, when I said that, they said that was un-Masonic conduct, along with the other questions that I had been asking.
So when he said F you,
Uh-huh.
it was becoming.
Evidently, it was
Okay.
okay for him to say that because nothing happened to him at all or said it. But then they suspended me. First of all, in masonry, you are given a trial before your peers, other brothers. Okay, they suspended me, and then afterward expelled me because after they suspended me and then expelled me, the card was off the table. I'm no longer a Mason. I'm no longer obligated to any secrets or anything that I know. So I'm here tonight to set the record straight as it relates to this lawsuit and other things that happened. I want to also, first of all, if you may allow me, I want to thank Grandmaster Ralph Slaughter and two other gentlemen by the name of A.K. Wilkins and Joseph Williams,
Okay.
who filed this lawsuit. And if they had not filed this lawsuit, Mason here in the Tennessee jurisdiction probably wouldn't even know that Fred McWilliams took this money.
Well, let's go, because I got a ton of paperwork
Okay?
up here as well. Fred McWilliams went in as an assistant to Arvin Glass, who was at that time the Grand Master
Of the Tennessee jurisdiction.
of the Tennessee jurisdiction, right?
Right, but he was the treasurer of the United Supreme Council.
Now, he was the treasurer.
Arvin W. Glass was the treasurer.
So if Glass is the treasurer, then should not all the financial documents go through him?
Supposedly, he's supposed to know where every dime and dollar goes. He has the, more or less, the authorization to look over and see the money and the working of the as the treasurer.
So who would have been the check signer?
As the treasurer, I would believe that would have been Arvin W. Glass as the treasurer of the United Supreme Council.
Okay, so how, see, here's the part that's, I don't understand. If Arvin Glass is the treasurer, how does Fred McWilliams move the money around?
Well, you know, in a case like that, if you're the treasurer, I believe you would have to give him the authorization to do that. If he's your assistant and you didn't want to keep up with the records, I think you would allow him to get access to the account of millions of dollars. And I would believe that Arvin W. Glass, the treasurer, gave him that authority to do that.
Well, when I look at one of the lawsuits was filed, as it's stated in here as fact, let me go to that part. Defendant Frederick McWilliams, referred to as McWilliams, McWilliams was hired on or about October of 2012 to act as an assistant to the treasurer of the USC. McWilliams was to have general office duties and to assist the treasurer in performing his constitutional duties. During the course of his employment, McWilliams assumed additional duties and ultimately assumed control over matters that he was not intended to be in control of and that he was not authorized to be in control of. McWilliams has an extensive knowledge of computers and IT operations and became the primary person in charge of the IT system for the USC, which provided him access to all computer files. McWilliams changed the mailing address that mail for the USC came to and ultimately became the person who had access to all of the mail of the organization. The mail that McWilliams obtained access to included, but not limited to, correspondence from the banking institution, investment accounts, credit card companies, vendors, and members. McWilliams obtained the signature stamps of the Sovereign Grand Commander Drury Vaughan, Secretary Marvin Chambers, and Treasurer Arvin Glass of the USC, who were the designated signers and card holders on the bank accounts, investment accounts, and credit cards of the USC. McWilliams, without authority and unbeknownst to the USC, was then able to access the bank accounts and investment accounts and make transfers between accounts, unauthorized withdrawals from the accounts. Now, it goes on to say that McWilliams contacted various vendors by telephone and made purchases of electronic items and other items using the credit card accounts of Vaughn and Glass. Mr. McWilliams, by virtue of his control of the mail of USC, obtained debit cards in the names of Vaughn and Glass. McWilliams used the debit cards to make charges for suites at the FedEx Forum for sporting events totaling approximately $250,000. McWilliams was a salaried employee with a beginning salary of $30,000. Without authority and unbeknownst to the USC, McWilliams increased his salary to $50,000. Now, Jennings, I'm just reading that.
Right.
How in the hell is that possible?
To me, as the treasurer, it's impossible. In other words, if he had access to all of that information, whether, it was the credit card, and you're supposed to be the treasurer, Arvin W. Glass, supposed to be the treasurer, your job as the treasurer is to keep up with all transactions of those accounts. Now, you can't tell me, being a former pastor, having a treasurer and a secretary and all of that, you cannot tell me that Derek Vaughan, the United Sovereign Grand Inspector General of the United Supreme Council, the secretary, and the treasurer did not know that Fred McWilliams had access to this account. Now, if you're the treasurer and all of a sudden you get your report, if you're looking at it and being the treasurer, you will see 240-some thousand. Well, you knew it, but guess what? Why did you know it? Because you were there in the suite, enjoying the food, eating and drinking. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to that point.
Mhm.
Here's a guy that you paid $30,000, no money.
Right.
Okay, but he's able in every game that the Grizzlies have. Somebody's saying, is something wrong with the sound?
I just got that one too. She said, take a break.
It's a little staticky, a little bit.
I think it's the mic.
Is it the mic?
It might be. Go to commercial real quick.
Come on, y'all. Nah.
They can hear you, you just hear static in the back.
What was it? The paper or what is it?
I don't know.
Do I need to bring the mic in closer?
It's not the mic.
Is it better now? Is it better?
We don't know what's causing the static.
It's not-
but they
it's
can
not
hear
even
y'all
that.
talking.
It's staticky all behind you.
All right, let's take a quick commercial and come back. I guess the Masons fucking with the,
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
They ain't got that kind of problem. They ain't that problem. Don't let these folks fool you.
why am I still up there?
It's cold, it's
You
just,
said what?
it's just a lady.
Oh, okay.
Hi, my name is Zoe Walls, and this is my dad, Sonny Walls, the owner of Shop and Stay, and we would like to personally thank you for 25 great years.
It's like they can still hear y'all, but it's static.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's off right now.
So you're not hearing static in the commercials?
No.
EMS life, fuck you with that bullshit you talking about, don't fuck with the Mason. Fuck a Mason. Is it better?
We got,
We're gonna know
we're gonna
that.
see, we're gonna come back after this.
Bring me back after this.
Okay. Ten seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. And y'all let me know in there what it's doing. Am I sounding better? They have, because we're in delay, so. But as we talk, Jennings, about the Masons, Arvin Glass on pictures is in the suite.
In the suite.
Okay? All these politicians in the suite. So, if you paying a guy $30,000 a year, would you not question how this particular individual is able to afford a suite at the FedEx Forum, and then at the same time bring all, because I looked at some of the pictures, 20 and 30 folks.
Yeah, and you would have to be, something have to be wrong with you, not to even wonder or ask the question. I mean, I understand, when they had the games in the suite, man, he had food and all you can drink, all you can eat. It was reported that he spent thousands of dollars at each FedEx Forum game that the Grizzlies played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he took care of it for. He was a politician. He,
Mhm.
you know, he was out there. He said he knew everybody. I looked and I saw all kind of politicians in there, from Justin Ford in there to I've seen Willie Harrington. I've seen A.C. Ward,
Mm-hmm.
all down there. Cause he was playing the big shot, big baller, and a
Mhm.
shot caller, and
Mhm.
and folks thought he had. But see, I knew Freeman. Me and his father, we started preaching together.
Okay,
Okay, and his father wasn't a millionaire.
okay.
Okay, I was never invited because I guess he figured that I would ask the question, "Where did you get this money from?" Well, rumors had it that he said that his daddy died, which was a friend of mine, and left $1 million.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Grady McWee.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and he was the insurance agent, and he didn't do right by the folks on the policy
Okay.
that he had. You know,
Okay.
you get the money and then turn it on. So I guess Fred McWilliams got it honestly. But the thing about it is not only there, it came down to another job he had, where he worked for some security people. Where
Yeah,
he took
well-
10,000 there.
Well,
So why would you let him be?
see, and that was the question. Why wasn't a background check? You got a guy that is assisting you, and you're the guy that's dealing with millions of dollars. And when you pull his background, you got a company where in, what year was this? I believe this was 46. No, this was 2010. That he was charged with numerous counts of forgery, okay? You done went and signed the man's name, the owner of this company's, okay, you done signed his name, I think it was 13 counts of forgery. You done signed a guy's name. You got a history of being a thief, okay?
Okay.
You love to steal. You want to play the big shot call.
Right.
Do you believe, Jennings, that he stole the money by himself?
No, no doubt, no doubt. In other words, in the lawsuit, if you look at it, Grandmaster Slaughter out of Louisiana and the other two gentlemen, they laid it out as it relates to who is a part of this lawsuit.
Okay.
And the defendants are Derry Vaughn, Arvin W. Glass, Fred McWilliam, and William Curtis. In other words, in this lawsuit that has some validity to it, and the only reason the lawsuit in Chancery Court was dismissed was that cause Grandmaster Slaughter has started his own United Supreme Council.
Okay.
So the judge said, now you're no longer a part of this Supreme Council, so we just gonna let it go. But if somebody that was a part of this United Supreme Council that was being sued by Slaughter would have took it up, they could have taken it back to the Chancery Court, but nobody stepped up and did
Well,
it.
see, but the Supreme Council locally found that, and I've got a copy of the Office of Grand Chancellor, United Supreme Council, 33rd degree, ancient and accepted Scottish rights and all that. That in this, it says, attach our documents that were submitted to this office on Saturday, May the 9th, 2015. SGIG, I don't know what that means. Gilbert Redding and others requesting that charges be filed for trial and judgment against Drury Vaughn and against Arvin Glass for breach of fiduciary duty, breach of duty of care, and breach of loyalty in accordance with whatever your constitution is. It states in this that Sovereign Grand Commander Drury Vaughn transferred $120,000 of his salary from the United Supreme Council to the Charitable Foundation, and from the Charitable Foundation to the Oklahoma Grand Lodge to circumvent taxes owed to the Internal Revenue. Drury Vaughn's use of the United Supreme Council card for questionable transactions, such as cash advances from casinos. Drury Vaughn and Treasurer General Glass transferred $700,000 to AXA Equitable for his personal benefit without the approval of the United Supreme Council. Drury Vaughn and Grand Treasurer General Glass acquired a Mercedes-Benz S500 for his benefit, using $108,000 of United Supreme Council funds without the corporate approval of the United Supreme Council. Now, in paperwork from the order, it's showing that they crooks too.
The lawsuit spells out what they have done. There's no
Okay.
doubt. He had the Mercedes, the checks or the transfers show that they did transfer the money. So to me, if you got it, you got the Mercedes, the money is missing. I remember Glass and a Grandmaster Glass at the time, we was in a consistory meeting, which
Oh, who?
consists of consistory. It's called a consistory, 32nd, 33rd degree. And he brought up the fact that it's over. It's over, it's done. That's when the Chancery, Kyle, kind of dismissed it because that Grandmaster Slaughter was no longer a part of the Supreme Council.
Okay.
Well, he got up and said, it's over. Ain't no more, nothing been done, it's over. And I'm sitting up here waiting. Now, I've been in law enforcement for over 50 years. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm sitting here, I'm saying, now you can't blow smoke up in there. I know better than that. So I asked the question of him,
Uh-huh.
and I said to him, well, wait a minute, is the money still missing? It's dismissed, but Grandmaster Glad, is the money still missing? Yeah. I said, well, it's maybe dismissed over here, but if they filed it over here in criminal, it's still ongoing. Well, they say it was dismissed. No, it don't work like that. My understanding, being in law enforcement, once the state or the feds or whoever gets it, it's no longer your case. The Supreme Council cannot tell the law enforcement agency that have gotten this and got this complaint, well, we have done this and we have settled it. No. It's no longer yours. It's the state of Tennessee. And as you saw, it took 4.5 years almost for it to finally
Now-
come to fruition.
And that's the part that's real strange, Jennings.
Mm.
Indictments, and I want to know, don't normally take 4 years. Do you think that there was someone that was involved in this, that was trying to cover this up for Fred McWilliams?
Now, I can't say that, you know, I don't know that. But being in law enforcement, I found out that sometimes you can get indicted within a year. Sometimes you can get indicted within 6 months.
Uh-huh.
It all depends. But it's curious to me, and I understood, I talked to some people, and they said it was so much paperwork that they had to deal with, so much background they had to check as it relates to this. But it was done. After 4.5 years, we're there now, and now I'm curious to see what's gonna happen, because it said that the statute said that 15 to 60 years. Now, I
Okay.
got people that's on my company that go to jail for taking $500.
Okay.
Okay, here's somebody reported at 1.1 million, he's indicted. So, if he took this money, to me, he was no more than, Bernie Madoff, who swindled people out of money. Well, he swindled, me out of money as it relates to the United Supreme Council, because guess what? I had to pay to get my 33rd degree, and there's a whole lot of other brothers, all over the
So how
country.
do you become a 33rd degree?
Well, first of all, you have to be a 32nd degree. And the rule is you have to be a 32nd degree for 2 years, okay? And then you can petition to become a 33rd. Now, because of the money situation now, to become a 33rd, they are waiving that 2 years.
Okay.
You're paying $1,600 now to become a 33rd degree Mason. Every year or every 2 years it goes up, and when I came through, it was $1,600.
Okay. How long has Fred McWilliams been in Masonry?
I really can't answer that, I don't know, but I know that he was in his 20s, according to some of the brothers, when he received his 33rd. And that's unusual for you to get and become 33rd in your 20s. You have to be in your 30s, from my understanding, to become a 33rd degree Mason, but he was given that before that time.
Do you think that there was a plot by Jory Vaughn, Arvin Glass, and Fred McWilliams to steal from the Masonic Order?
If I go by the lawsuit and what it said and what they was indicted, what he was indicted on, and that's a whole nother picture, because there was 4 people that's supposed to be taking the money, but Fred McWilliams is the only one got indicted because they saying that he took the money or he made the transaction. But I can't believe within my soul and my mind and my heart that they did not know that this was taking place. And in the lawsuit, it named them and told in particular the things that they did. So why not indict all 4?
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this list of some of the things that money was spent on.
Okay.
Batesville casket, $725. This is debit card now. Okay. Got a check for Fred McWilliams, $264,709.12. cents.
Mhm.
Now, you mean to tell me that nobody sees this check? Okay, nobody sees this check. Bud Davis Cadillac, $2,437. Christian Brothers Auto, $1,900. Church and Chapel Mellow Arts, $12,000, and the list goes on and on. Grizzlies, here's debit card, 143. How do you walk into a place and use your debit card for $143,000?
Evidently, he had to have approval for someone to believe that he could do that.
You
He had
walk
to have-
you walk into the Grizzlies office
Mhm.
and you use your debit card
Okay.
for $143,171, and nobody questions you?
I would think somebody would question you, but I'm surprised the Grizzlies didn't question. Here's a young black man coming in there and dropping 200 and some thousand or whatever it was down on the table.
I mean, they would think, whose card you done stole?
Normally they would think that.
Okay,
Okay, but somewhere down the line, it had to be in their mind that he had the authorization to do it. I would like to know what was the name on that debit card, and whose name was on that debit card.
did any of the other guys in the organization ask any questions?
Most people, let me give you understanding how Mason is from the time that when I came in 78.
Uh-huh,
In 78, there was honorable men in Masonry. There was men who would drill you, tell you what the art of Masonry was about, told you how we take good men and make them better.
mm,
That was something, when I came in as a Mason in 78, it was an honorable thing. The people in the community found out I was finna become a Mason,
mhm.
they were congratulating me. They were saying that's an honorable institution where you are finna be inducted into or be a part of it. Hey, you're doing the right thing. Masonry took care of the old, the sick, the orphans and widows. They did all that.
Mhm.
Now Mason has become where people of younger generation and some of the older heads are afraid to speak up about Masonry or anything that goes wrong because of titles and positions. Okay?
Okay.
Everybody in Masonry want a title.
Okay,
Everybody in Masonry want a position. And I often tell them, man, why do y'all worry about these titles and positions? Because you can take all that you gave, your title and position, put it in a box with 25 cents and take it down to Starbucks, you can't buy a cup of coffee.
okay.
Okay? But
Okay.
what is it that's so important that will allow you to keep your mouth shut when you see something that's wrong?
You know, I'm looking at a letter of April 29th, 2015, where Arvin Glass supposedly fired Fred McWilliams. Okay?
Well, that's new to me. I hadn't seen that one.
This letter is to inform you and confirm our recent conversation that effective immediately, you are suspended without pay. The United Supreme Council records indicate that you may have misappropriated company funds, and a more thorough investigation is now being conducted. At the completion of the investigation, a final judgment will be made as to your guilt or innocence. Well, I know for a fact, since I was renting an office, that even though this letter says he was fired, he was in the building every day.
Oh, he was there every day.
Okay?
Yeah, I've seen him in the building when he wasn't supposed to be there.
My office, as you pass the elevators, you made the right. I was in the first office.
Right.
Okay? I came out one day and he was working on the cameras. Okay? He's your IT person. It is my belief that Arvin Glass, Drury Vaughn were co-conspirators to steal the money from the Masons. Was the money insured?
That I don't know, but the lawsuit says exactly what you said. What you believe is what's in the lawsuit. And the lawsuit is saying that they did that very thing in what you believe.
I had the opportunity of talking to Ralph Slaughter when this happened. And he firmly believed that McWilliams didn't do this by itself.
And I believe that too.
Where did the statements go every month?
Should have went to the treasury. And as a treasurer, you should have looked at what the statement, just like you do your account, like
Yeah.
I do mine.
Yeah.
You know, I look and see if something on here is not supposed to be on here. I'm gonna question it.
Yeah.
You the treasurer, and you telling me you didn't know that a debit card was used for this amount. I cannot buy that. Arvin W. Glass cannot hoodwink me, bamboozle me, and run amok like he's doing most of the masonry. Man, I can tell you stories that you would shatter to believe that this man, even as the Grand Master, has intimidated, bullied individuals because they wanted title. I was director of membership, enlistment, and enlightenment for the whole Tennessee jurisdiction. And I remember a call that I said something on my radio show on Facebook Live, and he called me, and first thing he was saying, Brother Menard, I'm tempted to take your directorship from you. I said, you can have it. Don't matter to me, you want it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it to you. Because what I was doing in masonry was none other than, it was more than anybody else was doing. In other words, I was bringing most of your politicians, I brought in as director of membership. Most of your business people, I brought in. We brought in more when I was the director of membership for this Tennessee jurisdiction than anybody. We had a lodge that was named Lodge of the Year because of the membership and what we was doing. So I did my job. I earned every position that I had. But Arvin Glass thought he could bully me by telling me he gonna take it. Man, you can take it, stick it where the sun don't shine. I don't care. Understand that? I'm bigger in I did more for masonry than masonry did for me. Okay, that's how I work. Anything I do, whether it's church or whatever, I'm gonna give you 100% or more. But here, when he found out that it really didn't matter to me, he said, well, no, you just gonna keep it. So I kept it. I just kept on doing it because I'm looking at some things that we can actually change brothers' lives when they come into masonry. And the thing they do. Masonry is taking care of, as I said, widows and orphans. During Christmas, they're giving bicycles and other feeding during Thanksgiving. They're doing great things, but they are so locked in on wanting titles and positions. That's how you control it. And just to show you, Arvin W. Glass did this and several things he did, and we'll get back. But he, for one, my home lodge was Diamond Lodge 299. All right. Arvin Glass suspended and took out the whole Diamond Lodge and during the grand session because he said that they had not paid their taxes. Well, he gave them the registration, he gave them the badges, and they was actually sitting inside of the grand session. Well, my cousin, which is Gregory Bernard, the rumor was that he was gonna run against Arvin W. Glass. Well, Arvin W. Glass, if you look at the fact, he didn't want to come at the competition because Greg Bernard could have beat him. So what did he do? He threw the whole lodge out so he wouldn't have any competition. After that, he wasn't supposed to have anything to do with the election. He took the gavel from the deputy grand master, hit the podium, and said, I'm reelected.
He did what?
He did it. I'm sitting there and I'm looking, my mouth went open. I'm like, are you serious? Did he just do something that he wasn't supposed to do? Not only that, he turns around, get himself in trouble, and I call maladministration, because he can't run as Grandmaster the state of Tennessee jurisdiction. He ended up going, if it was not last year, a year, maybe last year, in the last session, he came to the brothers and told them, I am in trouble with the IRS. He's supposed to have a certain amount of money in the account just in case you as a Mason and I as a Mason, we die.
Mm-hmm.
There's an amount of money that was there that every Mason,
A trust fund.
it was, if you would call it a trust, it's like a
Mhm.
benefit for your wife.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But he came in and told them that, hey, IRS said if y'all turned over this money, then I can be out of trouble. Them individuals, those brothers, as I sit there and listen to them, they actually voted. My wife wanted the benefit of something happened to me. Your wife would probably win. They voted to give it back over to Arthur W. Glass. $400 and some thousand. This is the type of intimidation that he does to these individuals. Get them to the point that they're weak, they want titles and position. And lastly, I would say this, a secretary, called, her name is Evelyn Pruitt Davis. She was supposed to retire a few years ago. He came to the grand session and said that I gave Miss Evelyn $115,000 for her retirement. He told us that. It was done. But at the same time, when he did that, he did it on his own. And this is what will get you, is that when he's out of session, he's the Grand Lodge. In other words, there's no protocol that is set up like a board that I'm gonna give an employee $115,000.
So he didn't have to ask nobody.
He didn't have to ask nobody. He did it, gave it to her, and then when all the new worshipful masters came in, and I was one a few years ago, came in, he sit down and he said, I'm hearing rumors that people are talking about Miss Evelyn got to go. And he said, I'm telling all of y'all, she ain't going nowhere. Now here you done gave a woman $115,000, and you said that, and that's a matter of record, but she's still working every day.
Well, wait, I thought you was retired.
I ain't retired, she retired and still working. That's a problem.
Wait a minute, Jennings.
Oh, yeah.
The $115,000 was supposed to be for retirement.
For a retirement.
That means you're going home, you ain't
We're
working.
going
no
home
more.
and gonna sit down.
So you give her $115,000 and she's still working on the
Still
job.
working every day. Not only that, turn around and her daughter is now working up there. Somewhere down, somebody said that, wouldn't that be nepotism or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's running wild. He's doing whatever he wanted to do. Now, as much as he liked power, all of a sudden he steps down. I don't know whether he knew something was coming down, but then he brought a guy in by the name of Latrice Lamont Banks.
Latrice.
Yeah, his name is Latrice, the new grandmaster. All right, Latrice Lamont
Girl
Banks.
name.
Well, you know, what can I say?
Okay.
But he ended up being told now in Masonry, you don't suppose to politics. Well, in his address to the brother, he said that he wanted him to succeed him. That was wrong. That's against the Mason rules and bylaws. But he is so out of control that he would tell the brother that, and the brother voted him in. Now, guess what they did? Now, when they expelled me, you know me, I can find out anything I want to find out. Well, I found out that the new grandmaster, Latrice Lamont Banks, he liked to choke women and drive drunk. Okay? So, you know,
He like to do what,
he
Jennings?
liked to choke women and drive drunk. Yeah,
When he having sex?
I don't know whether he is having sex. They had to be 2 different days. Or the 2 things. He was choking a woman one time, and then on the next time he got a DUI. And the affidavit, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see where it was saying he was so drunk he couldn't stand up. Now here's a man with this type of record that you trust to be able to be the new grandmaster. It's
Yeah.
something wrong with it.
Come fix this.
All right.
Instagram.
So these things that are happening in masonry, and I said it, and you have said it, you know, I said, we have some cowards. There's a part where it says in your oath that you must watch out for cowards and eavesdroppers. Well, we got them in Mason. We got cowards, 2 cowards to stand up, like Grandmaster Slaughter and others and myself. You know, cause long time ago I was told there's 3 things that you never let anybody take from you: your pride, your dignity, and your respect. Arvin W. Glass, most but not all of the Masons, he's taken all 3 of them. They gave up their pride, they gave up their respect. And you don't let anyone do that. But this man is such controlling over people that if you don't, he don't like what you say. Then he'll do something to either get you out of position. But see, he realized, I don't care. See, Masonry didn't make me, I helped to make Mason. And that's why I am doing this, because of the love that I have for this organization and the people who have served before me, who have gone on, and the tradition of Masonry. And contrary to what people say, it is an honorable institution.
So-
But you just have people that are not afraid.
Are you you can no longer be a Mason, period?
Oh, they expel me, and understand this, it doesn't matter to me. 42 years of being a Mason, and see, the thing is, once a Mason, always a Mason. You know, whether you active or inactive, whether you expel or suspended, you can't take that away. My accomplishment from a third degree Mason, Master Mason, to a 32nd, to the worshipful master of a dead lodge that we took where one man had it, and we took it and brought 30-some people into a dead lodge. That most Masons have never done that. But I was able to rally brothers and tell them to come into an organization that make a difference. From that, from a 33rd degree, I became 33rd degree Mason. On the York-Rite side, I'm a past high priest in the Royal Lodge. As a black house, as they call it, that's the military side, Knights Templar, I was the captain general in there. And in the Purple House, I was just a member of the Purple House. So all of these things I have accomplished. I love this organization, and I love the brothers in it. But sometimes you have to be one to step out and call a spade, and it is what it is.
I'm gonna open up the phone lines in just a minute and let you all talk to Jennings, or you may have some questions that I may not have, and I got so much paperwork up here. Before I go to commercial break, what do you think is going to happen with Fred McWilliams?
Well, I hope he go to jail like Bernie Madoff, because he ended up stealing. He took money. And I hate the fact that you get these lawyers and you paying them, and you probably paying them with
Stolen
Mason
money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, paying them with that money, because he ain't got money like this. You know, you mentioned the cars, man. He bought boats. He bought everything and anything he wanted. I think you had a guest on here a while back that had said that she used to go in his pocket and
Yeah.
had a bunch of money.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
he just walked around with money in his pocket like he was Howard Hughes' nephew or something, knowing that he did. What I think should happen, he should go to jail. Like I see everybody in my business, when they do wrong, they go to jail. 15 to 60 years, he needs to do some time, no probation. He maybe get paroled after he do his time.
Some are saying that Fred McWilliams is too smart to go to jail.
Smart good. No,
We got a whole lot of smart folk in
I
jail.
got a whole lot of them, man. I got a lot of smart folks.
And you're in the
I'm in the probation deal.
Right.
Okay, but the thing about it, I would like to see, and I would like to see what the outcome is.
Okay.
You know, I would like to see if this man, some way and somehow, end up getting out of this. If you do, then I would lose faith in something and that I've been a part of for almost 50 years, and that's the legal system.
Do you think that when we start talking about masonry and we start talking about people that's involved in the Masons, when we look at the District Attorney General's office, there are several Masons in that office. Reggie, I can't think of Reginald's last name, who's a deputy to Amy Warwick. Do you think that the Masons would do some finagling to get him off, or let him plead his way out, give him probation, or what?
No, I don't think that someone would put their job on the line for a guy like Arvin W. Glass, Fred McWilliam, or whatever the situation. Because you got a family to feed. There's nothing in Masonry, no position, even the Grand Master position would allow you to jeopardize feeding your family. So yes, there are black and probably white Masons in there, but I don't think not one of them would be that silly to jeopardize their livelihood.
Okay. All right, we're going to, and let me say this, Reggie Henderson, that's his name, somebody just sent me his
Okay.
name. Reggie Henderson is a deputy up there, and I'm going to be watching this case. I don't like him. I don't like Fred McWilliams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Fred went into my office. I broke the story before any media. He went into my office, put spyware on my computer, went in and deleted a lot of my files. I was going through my divorce there, took a lot of my personal stuff and sent it out to Masons all over the country. Then he went and lied and said I was stalking him and following him around and staring him down, and they gave that idiot a warrant for that. Dale had just started working for me, and sheriffs came to my office, banging. Well, they knocked. They didn't bang on the door, and I knew both of the guys. I said, "Come on in." Faggots, we got a warrant. I said, "Warrant for what?" This guy went and called the news media and had them present at the office. The guys put me in handcuffs, which is procedure. Okay. Put my big old ass in one of them little bitty trucks. They could have bought a bigger vehicle, but they put me in the truck. I was out in about an hour and a half because I made the right calls. I got out of jail. Now he made these erroneous charges. Tried to get an order of protection against me. The judge wouldn't give him that. He didn't show up to court. They dismissed it. But I got arrested a second time because I was on probation. So now I done violated, okay?
Right.
I done violated my probation. So I get arrested again. Got to go back down there. But fortunately, when the judge got the order, somebody called me and told me what my bond was going to be. I went and paid the bond first so that we could walk across the street at the same time. I didn't stay long that time anyway. But for you to just boldly lie on me, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. So I'm gonna keep the pressure on him. I'm gonna keep talking about him, and that he's gonna be surprised at some things. I know that I'm just waiting for the right time to bring it forth. All on your yachts and your boats and paying off and buying politicians, buying caskets for Justin Ford, who can't run for nothing right now because he owes the state $20,000. You put Justin in business. There's a whole lot of misdeeds that you've done. He's a sound man now down at Club Paradise. He's heard last week that he was out trying to scam some guys in the gun business, the guys that have the classes, the shooting ranges.
Right.
He was out trying to sell them a program that they could do for nothing. He was trying to sell $1,500. So, Fred McWilliams, please understand that I'm going to give you all of the attention that you deserve. All right. Hey, also, Eddie Jones, your commercial was set to start tonight. I did some other things to it to make it look nice. You can look at it on my Facebook page, but we'll have it up for you on tomorrow night. And the rest of you politicians that's running in that race, y'all need to come on. Don't nobody know y'all. Don't nobody know y'all in the race. Reginald Milton did his due diligence here, purchase advertising. Eddie Jones commercial was set to start tonight. It will start tomorrow. Eddie, you can go and look on my Facebook page. Your commercial is already up there. We redid it. And you other politicians, call me. I'm gonna work something out for y'all. Y'all call me and which number I should don't. You raise my number. You know I gotta keep my number. You know I don't remember nothing. Yeah. I done got old. You said some days I act like I got the dementias. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. You all can call me on the numbers I use on there, the 231-9239. You politicians, the rest of y'all that's running, I got a little deal. If y'all call me tonight or in the morning, I got a little deal for you. But Eddie Jones commercial is already up on my Facebook pages. You put the new one up there, put them on all the pages. But I'm gonna open up the phone lines and see what y'all got to say. Masons across the country, you'll be able to call us as well. We'll be back after these commercial messages. This is the church wall there. The thing that wall you used to be doing the Joe House. Tastes different. Fix mine at your house. Water tastes better.
Water tastes better than house.
Mm-hmm. Than church wall.
Okay.
Huh? Mm-hmm. We can bring it up. Is the sound better now, T?
No,
Huh?
no.
Please leave your message.
I think I need to go ahead on and do that white politician.
I thought you were gonna try to talk to
He won't answer his phone.
Well,
What's his name?
it's yours.
George what? Summers, ain't it?
Yep, that's his name.
Mhm. What's that number at the top, Dale?
What number?
Facebook.
Hold up. Am I supposed to? $5.29.
You didn't put that up, that title that I told you for the board, did you? For Sunday?
So this is for
Oh,
all these students right here too.
uh-huh, do it over there. All right. All right, I invite you to join me this Sunday at the Naked Truth Liberation and Empowerment Ministries at 10 a.m., where my message this Sunday will be, my give a damn, just don't give a damn no more. That's Sunday's message. My give a damn, just don't give a damn no more. Come and hear this great message. Also, those of you that's trying to get your taxes done, you can call right now and file. You can't call it file. You can call and set an appointment to file at 901-552-4599. All right, put my number up there, T. 901-231-9239 is my number. Jennings Menard is here. There's any questions that you want to ask, and maybe some of you Masons want to call in. Are y'all stupid enough to keep on giving y'all money? Yeah, and I guess, Jennings, one of the questions I have is, where does all this money come from?
Well, you come from, every year you have your taxes that you have to pay. Say
Your
for-
taxes?
Taxes, you pay taxes, that's what they call it. To be a member, your lodge have to pay, say $50 per, individual in your lodge. So, it can come up, in my lodge to be $1,200, or some lodge it could be $3,000 or $4,000, all over the state of Tennessee.
All right, go ahead, Robert.
Accept, press 1.
Oh.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
Go ahead, sir. Oh, Robert in Darlington, North Carolina, you got scared? 901-231-9239. So $50 per person?
$50 per person, that's once a year that you have to pay your taxes before we go to the grand session. Then there's, say like the members that I was bringing in, it was $150 for your application, then $25 for your background check. So we brought a lot of people in that money. And then, with the booths and other things that vendors are doing,
Amen. Go ahead, Melvin.
Okay, Jenny,
yes,
my question, Douglas alumni,
all right.
my question, my question is, okay, you were saying that, you didn't know how McWilliams was doing everything that he was doing.
I said I didn't know how he was.
Okay, don't, Masons have, a sign that they do, and he could, do whatever sign, to make somebody do whatever he wanna do, like a 33-degree Mason. Don't y'all have signs, and he did it,
No,
and was able to.
Ma'am, what kind of sign?
A Mason sign.
What,
They have signs.
what he doing? He throwing his fingers up and hocus pocus, let's take this money? Huh?
What did you say?
Do he throw his fingers up in the air and,
No, we don't know what kind of signs. You don't ever know what they're doing, because I watch them, and I still don't know what they're doing.
so they got some stealing signs now, huh?
No.
to answer your
No,
question,
because you have signs that they do.
Oh, okay, baby, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, God bless you. Y'all got some signs. And I guess that's all, they said the Masons got all them little secret signs and, all that stuff.
I don't know about that.
Are you, something about the Willow Sun and all that stuff?
I don't know about that.
All right, you got a question that you really want to ask Jennings, other than about some signs? 901-231-9239. And y'all ain't gotta be scared. They ain't got no magic, y'all. Okay, y'all scared of the Masons? 231-9239. Cause I wanna know. Maybe Arvin Glass, I know you watching. I know you watching. Call and clear your name. Cause I think you're a thief. I think that you conspired. I think that Fred McWilliams, he's so smart till he's stupid, that he's just a passive. I think all y'all got some of that money. Speak up so we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, Dad, I'm calling about the lady just called. Was she meaning when I was?
Ma'am, I don't even want to talk, ma'am, we ain't talking about no signs. Let's talk about this money. I don't give a damn about them signs. We don't want to talk about no
I
signs.
don't know anything about money. I was just trying to.
Okay, but baby, why, you ain't gotta call and define what she's saying? I done dismissed her. Okay, thank you. Yeah, what she said wasn't, y'all ain't gotta call, well, see, this is what she meant. I don't care. We talking about this money, and y'all wanna talk about some signs. Y'all gonna hold a sign that say, free Freddie?
What's that, Free Willy?
Yeah, cause that Negro got that money. He got that money. I look at all his lists. Yeah, he might not even be able to keep his wife long.
Well, when you go to prison, they can,
He kind of,
yeah.
they kind of shake you loose when you
Yeah.
getting ready to go too,
Yeah,
don't you?
Seen
But-
that.
Have anybody checked to see where all that money at now?
Think you need to check on his mattress?
Yeah. On his who?
The mattress.
On his mattress.
in the wall, yeah.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Go ahead.
Your caller just hung up.
I know you did. Yes, they're scared tonight, Jennings.
Nothing to be scared of. A thief is a thief, and it's obvious in that lawsuit and all of those things that he alleged that he spent on, you know, and, was it more than one car, or how many cars is mentioned in there?
Well, see, a lot of stuff we don't see on
Okay,
here,
Okay,
cause we saw him on, with pictures, and if, I lost the pictures when I changed phones. Him and his wife on the boat, had the little yacht
mm,
out there in the Mississippi River. He was giving away Gucci bags,
mhm,
Gucci watches,
yeah,
and all of that. But when you get through with it, he didn't do this by himself. And I got a question. Who was he? Was anybody at the Grizzlies office getting a commission off all them tickets he was buying? Because I just don't see you going into the FedEx Forum with a debit card and you're able to use your debit card for $100,000 at a time.
mm.
And don't nobody question what's going on.
See, the question is gonna come to whose card and what card he used and whose name was on the card. If the card,
Voicemail, press 2.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. I think you Masons foolish tonight. I think you're foolish to the fact that somebody can take y'all money and y'all don't give a damn. That make y'all some of the biggest idiots in the world. That, and especially when you talking about that $115,000,
mm,
you give it to the woman. Is she a pretty woman?
yeah, she's nice looking.
Huh?
Yeah, she's nice looking. Pretty, she's nice looking. Okay?
There's a difference in pretty and nice looking.
Yeah,
So she's nice looking.
she's nice looking.
And her name what?
Evelyn Pruitt Davis.
Evelyn Pruitt Davis. She still work down there?
Still work there.
So what did the $115,000 go to?
It's her retirement. And that was public record. He said it in the grand session. And every,
To accept, press 1.
Go ahead.
I think that he had some help. I don't think he did it by himself. I think somebody else who did get all that money.
Yes, ma'am. We do too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. So did nobody question when she didn't leave the job?
oh, they didn't directly question him because he intimidates them. And more, like I said, most Masons are looking at positions and titles. You know, look like sometimes it's the only thing that they got important in their life is going.
Go ahead, brother.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Good
How you
evening.
doing this evening?
Doing
Fine.
fine, you?
Brother Jennings, you have every right. I
See.
think that more saying anything. You got every right to question where that money is going. You were supposed to do it because that's part of your duty as a Mason. My thing is, did anybody decide, why didn't anybody check the bank statements? Because for all that type of money to exchange hands, it's a paper trail somewhere. That's what I'm not trying to understand.
Well, not only that,
It's a paper.
not only that, Carlos, it's your duty as the treasurer to look at those statements. And why did it come out in the United Supreme Council when you the treasurer, and that's your job, and you got Grandmaster Slaughter, and other individuals saying, hold on, this is happening, you're supposed to record those things, you're supposed to know it, and you're supposed to, as the treasurer, do your job.
Right, right. But I'm like brother just said, I think all of them was getting some of that money. That's why I didn't want nothing was being said. I mean, but you're absolutely right. As treasurer, you're supposed to have you're supposed to know where every penny went, where it distributed it and everything. Yeah, you you out when, why they kicked you out, but they couldn't kick you out for answering the question, because that's what you were supposed to do.
Well, you know,
That's a big cover-up.
right, the thing about it though, is that not only that question, I have asked many questions. I have questioned the Grandmaster. And in masonry, one thing you don't ever supposed to do is question the Grandmaster. The
You're not?
Oh, no, I mean, no, I'm just, no, not cutting you off, but I'm not saying that it's law that you don't. But if you do, man, I got so many guys, man, why did you put the Grandmaster on the spot like that? Because he's the keeper. I need to know where the money is. You saying it's been dismissed, it's over with? Well, if it's over with, is the money back in the bank? No, it's not back in the bank. So somebody is out there enjoying that money. They said 1.1 million. I'm hearing that if
It's
you
almost
do it, you do an audit, it may be more than 2.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to ask, and I'm telling this to all my brothers. And if you got the courage to bag up on it, you need to ask for an audit of the Tennessee jurisdiction of masonry, because to give $115,000 to a secretary for retirement and she's still working, and then you hire her daughter, you need to stand up to the plate. And as it said, if you're not willing to stand up for something, you'll fall down for anything. And here's a perfect example. Perfect example.
Absolutely.
Well, this class needs to be asking, why you get that bitch, $115,000? What y'all got going on that you done gave her $115,000 and she still got a job? And they're still paying her too, right?
Still paying her, getting a check?
Well, brother, I think you asked your own question. You know something going on. You just didn't give somebody $115,000 and ain't gonna be nothing going on.
Yeah.
For retired secretary. I mean, let's be real about it.
All right.
All right, brother, thank you so much. Yeah.
Hey, man, y'all be easy. It's kind of light, brother.
All right, thank you, same.
He sound like he one of y'all. Y'all traveling light and on the square and in the circles and, have you ever seen what led to the discovery of the unusual expenditures?
No, I haven't.
This is a document that I have. The CPA started asking some questions. I think that's the right document. I got 2 or 3 of them.
The charitable foundation,
Let's see.
that's another story there.
What led to the discovery of the unusual, Banks, Finley and White started to asking some questions about some of the expenditures. And then they did an audit, and that's when they started to find out all of this, where all this money was coming up missing.
Michael.
Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, I used to be a mason down on Chelsea Street. And one of the reasons I got out of it was because Chelsea Street was so raggedy, but they was taking up all of that money and never would fix it. And what was the camera that
Chelsea Street. Now, there is a lodge that's called Chelsea Lodge, and not Chelsea Street. Okay?
That nigga was laughing. Wow.
Wow. Must thought this was a mail though. I don't know.
Down on Chelsea. Okay. All right. Somerville, Tennessee. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
hello? What you think about the Masons, man? What you think about the Mason situation?
So what's your question?
What you think about the Mason? Why the hell is you so damn big and why the hell is Jimmy so damn black?
We could ask your mammy the same damn question, but the bitch probably dead and can't answer us. All right. Whew. Lord, you come in here dripping like it's cold after the night. You ain't got your suit on tonight.
No, sir.
901-231-9239. Do you think that anyone in the District Attorney General's office is looking at Arvin Glass?
I don't know, at this point, I think that when it's time to go to trial, if he pleads guilty, or if he wants to go to trial, I would hope and pray that the Attorney General that's prosecuting would say to Fred McWilliams, we wanna know who else was involved in this. We're not going to give a plea. If you can't give us information as to who helped you to take this money, then we're gonna take it to trial. Just looking at the evidence, if I was a juror, and all of this is proven in this lawsuit, and the accusation that's been made, he would be found guilty, if I was on there, but if he know this.
Go ahead, Claudia.
How you doing, Mr. Matthews?
I'm doing fine, baby, go ahead.
I just wanna say that I think that, Mr. Freddie Mac need to, go to jail for stealing that money. And also, I have another question, if you don't mind, if I ask Mr. Jennings a question.
Okay.
I'm 47 years old. My father was, Masonic, and he has been in this Masonic lodge since, 1972, the year I was born. He passed away 5 years ago. And when I went into his safe, I found all his Masonic manuals and all that stuff. But I have so much respect for my dad, and I knew my dad had so much respect for his Masonic lodge. And I could have read that stuff and got my question answered. But I didn't do that. I put that stuff in a box and I gave all that stuff, even his robe, to his, what he called the Grand Master. But there's one thing that I did keep, and I need to ask you if I'm okay to keep that or should I have given it up? My dad undoubtedly, I don't know if it was ever worn or not, but in a small, medium-sized box, there was a new hat of his, and I kept that. Is that my right to keep that, or should I have given that up as well?
No, it was your right to keep that. That's something of your father. You don't have to give anything that your father had to the Masonry because that was his. He purchased it, and you didn't have to do that. But because you honored your father and you didn't want those items, you surrendered them over to the Grand Master and the Grand Lodge.
Yeah, but like I said, I had so much respect for my father. I knew how my father felt about being Masonic, and there was no way was I gonna open either one of them books or either one of those manuals.
What was you scared, ma'am, what was you scared of?
It's just the fact that I knew, all my life I asked my daddy questions about being Masonic, and some of the things I would ask him, he would look at me and kind of smile and say, well, baby, you know I can't discuss that with you, so I just thought it was all a secret and that I should not know, so like I said, I just read that stuff, I put that stuff in the box and gave it.
Most women want to know all the secrets.
And let me
Oh, yeah, I wanted to know,
Yeah.
but like I said, it's just I have so much respect for my father, and I knew how he felt about being Masonic, I wouldn't do that.
Well, let me commend you for the respect for you had for your father by not doing that. That was something that he held true and dear to his heart, and I can appreciate you doing that.
All right, thank you, darling.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All the way from Marshall, Texas. Well, Jennings, as we are winding down, how many minutes I got? 2? Anything you want to say in closing?
Yes, I would like to say, first of all, Thaddeus, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and talk about this situation. I will say, and I will always say, that I love the Masonic order. I love the brothers of it. But the brothers got to get up and stop being afraid and not let, whether it's the new Grand Master who like to choke women, drive drunk,
What's the one with name he choked?
it's on my Facebook page.
I'm gonna look.
I can, look and see.
So
She out of Nashville. He's out of Nashville, the new Grand Master. Latrice, Lamont Banks, he's out of Nashville. So, he does, he likes to, you know, choke women and.
Someone
drive
like to be
drunk.
choked now.
I don't know, I ain't never ran across a woman like that, nah.
Oh,
You
these,
choking women?
these new, these new women, when you having sex with them,
Oh, no.
they want you to choke them.
No.
They tell you to squeeze their neck.
No, I ain't ran across them like that.
They used to tell you to pull their hair, but now it all come off in your hands, so.
But
Choke
anyway, let me just say this again. I want to thank Grandmaster Slaughter, the Grandmaster, and Missouri, not Missouri, what I'm talking about?
Louisiana.
Louisiana, I'm sorry for that, but thank him for standing up to the plate, and I will continue to do what I do. But brother, don't worry about me, whether I am missing it. It doesn't mean that too much to me. I'm going on by my life and enjoy life as well. But I want you, when it comes to this grand session, search yourself, look inside yourself, and you know who the one that needs to be the grandmaster. You need to convince that person to be the new grandmaster.
All right, I got to go. Freddie McWilliams, I hope you get everything that you deserve. As I was riding with them handcuffs in the back seat of that car, that little Jeep, and I was a little heavier than I am right now, they had 2 pair of handcuffs on me, Jennings. And it was a bumpy ride. And all I could think about, Freddie McWilliams, is you. So please know you are in my thoughts, not in my prayers, but you are in my thoughts. And anything that I can do that's going to cause you some misery legally, I'm going to do it. Okay? And tell that sweet little wife of yours I said hello here. A little fine red bone ass. Tell your wife if she wants some real sugar, come see a real man and not your little punk ass. Until tomorrow night, top of the evening to you.
You so messy. You so messy.
She didn't leave me alone.
You still on.
Oh, I'm still on there.